the American Express team. I'm gonna mute you there, Bill. It's a lot of noise in that tower up there because Bill's with us this weekend. He's on site up in the tower getting things ready. So it's American Express leading the race. They've turned the fastest lap of that 253 in that big Pontiac. Looks like they're underway. So if you're just joining us, it's the Frozen Rotors Grand Prix. They call it the Frozen Rotors Winter Classic is what we're calling it, for the Champ Car Endurance Series, presented by RVA Graphics and Wraps.
What the?
And we're on board with the Looney Tunes Mustang, which is in P2 already. They're in a great spot, chasing down the Pontiac just up ahead, you can see. As they're trying to get themselves in a great position, and they really are for the beginning of this race. Of course, there's 8 hours. They're heading, looks like they're getting ready to go underneath that. Yeah, there's the Speedville Bridge. And then around the carousel here. This is a really interesting track. It's got a lot of dynamics to it. It's a very fast racetrack. Under the Continental Tire Bridge, downshifting. Heading into this chicane here that's used to slow the cars down. And it's through Kettle Bottoms here. They're heading down to Canada Corner. This is a great place to draft, I found out, by the way, and a Miata works really well. It's like a vacuum cleaner. Just sucks you right down into the corner.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, it's nice. Now into that famous Canada Corner. Lots of runoff at the exit, but there's some rumble strips out there, so it tends to unsettle the car a little bit. You can see that Wisconsin sky. It's beautiful, but a little chilly this morning. Temperatures high is only 42 degrees, and I think they've already hit that.
Ooh, that's brisk.
Yeah, especially up at the top here. Big elevation change up at the top. This is where the pits are, just off to the left. The timing and scoring tower off to the left there is where Bill is. There's the flag stand. And up here, it's always several degrees cooler up here than it is. I guess it's the other way around. It's cooler down below than it is up above, but up here's where all the wind is. So you gotta, gotta pick your poison. Through turn one, very fast, about 80 miles an hour. For some of these guys, downhill. Turn two is just sort of a kink. This is actually turn 3 through here.
So we got several teams fighting for the fastest time early in this race. American Express held it with a 2:53.865, and then JSK Racing just lowered it to a 2:52.830.
Right.
So a little bit over a second faster.
There's your timing and scoring, and you can follow along with your favorite teams at racehero.io. If you want to go to their website, you can pick it up there. You can also get their app in the App Store or Google Play if you're an Android, one of those Android users. On board with ludicrous speed in their 91 Toyota MR2. They've done really well out here in the past, Doc. I think you mentioned that, and so we've got a camera in their car. Things a little bit cramped in that MR2, but out here getting it done. Crank Yankers Racing starts the race up in 10th spot. Actually, started back in about 20th. They've climbed 12 spots to get into the top 10 already. Premium Dudes in P9. And we're seeing a lot of green as the drivers are just starting to get into the groove here on this 3.5-mile road course in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. 14 turns. Down into turn 5. And up the hill to that tricky blind left-hander just under the Corvette Bridge. Here the brakes begin to sing as they're coming up to temperature. Now headed down through that another famous part of the racetrack called Hurry Downs. This is a fun part of the racetrack here. Steep downhill to a rather sharp left-hander. Third gear. And back to the Speedville Bridge where Michael Tuttle had that terrible accident last year, smacking the bridge.
That wheel went down.
Broke his hand, but last time I talked to him, he's recovered from that. Saw him at Watkins Glen earlier this year.
Yeah, I saw him at Sebring, but I didn't have a chance to stop and chat. Zachary Mortimer with Chattanooga and Turnwagon Meister Shaft Cars says, I posted on Facebook that sorry about the glitches. He says glitches get stitches.
I don't get it.
I think Zachary's got a new build coming up. I think he's got an E36 in the works. They currently campaign a pretty radical E30. They got lots of cutouts in the body and stuff, so running some huge tires.
And with our new rules, they're going to have to make sure that the fender those huge tires, right?
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure they've got that covered. They've got their front fenders pulled out to get some more air through there. So Zachary's a pretty creative guy, and so is that whole team. So I don't see them having any problems with that.
Well,
right. They're usually on top of things.
Yeah.
And we had this really unusual qualifying session yesterday.
Yes. The go-karts.
With the go-karts. Of course, there's a go-kart track at Road America here, which, by the way, there's also one at NCM. I don't know if that might come into play next year or not, but they used it for qualifying.
Certainly should come into play for the Commentators Cup.
That little go-kart track is amazingly fun, too.
You know, AMP has a go-kart track as well.
I've heard that one is awesome.
Yeah, it's got some huge elevation changes.
Yeah, it's like a road course.
Yeah. With all the elevation changes, it is more or less like the AMP track itself. There's some large elevation changes.
You know you're in the Georgia mountains when you're there, huh?
Exactly.
Looney Tunes has moved into the lead early on here, just 15 minutes after the start of the race.
That didn't take long.
Got by the Pontiac. American Express has just dropped behind them.
See, Premium Dudes and Crank Anchors are both moving up with their E30s.
Yeah, Premium Dudes is a pretty solid car, so I would expect them to be strong all day. Crank Anchors right on their tail, turning very similar
Mike Smith
lap
is
times.
in the Crank Anchors car. I know that.
Okay. And TCB Motorsports in 9th. TCB, we had a camera in their car, but it wasn't TCB. It was TRM Motorsports Racing, who's out here this weekend. Spartan Racing in 11th. Black Pearl down to 12th now. And 2th Autosport, those Canadians in that B-Class car up to 5th. And watch out for JSK in 3rd right now. Just turned the fastest. Well, they turned the fastest lap time of the day at 2:51.
Yep, and they sent me that note that said they've won here every year since 2015. So I was trying to look and see where my pick was. Cone Crushers moved up 14 spots to run in 36th place. I don't suspect they will stay there long. It's too good a team.
Nah, I'm sure they'll make a move.
And like I said, they've made that long tow up there, which means they're going to miss the AMP race next weekend.
That's amazing because that's their home track, right?
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, you could make the argument that either Road Atlanta or Road Atlanta is actually closer to them.
Okay.
It's about an hour drive for me to Road Atlanta, and for them in Toccoa. Toccoa's about 10 miles from here, closer to Road Atlanta. So you could argue either one could be their home track.
Right.
And we've already got a car off track. Their driver's right in the bus stop there. Looks like they're hooking it up now. So it looks like a local yellow. As the Looney Tunes Mustang winds up through the gears, heading down through Kettle Bottoms now towards Canada Corner.
Like I said, I can't believe I overlooked them in my pre-race predictions. I'm rusty. I've been on vacation.
Yeah.
Forgot everything I knew.
Everything goes out the window.
Yeah,
That's the way,
absolutely.
I think that's what vacations
have much memory
are for.
to start with.
It's supposed to be that way, Doc. You're supposed to let it all go.
I did. We had a blast down there.
That's cool.
You are the new guy.
Yeah, I am the FNG.
Down into 14 we go, heading up that steep climb. This is fun, heading up this hill, but it kind of stinks when your car doesn't have any horsepower. And it's just grinding up this hill, waiting for it to get to the top so you can accelerate again.
Row your boat up.
Yeah.
So Looney Tunes, aren't they
trouble
based
with
in
the,
Texas, I
shifting
believe?
there. Had a little bit of trouble getting it in gear there. Yeah, I don't know where they're out of, Doc.
I'm pretty sure it's Texas. I'm going through their files right now. Yes, they've won here before, Paulie. You are correct.
Under the Bridgestone.
On Sunday of last year in the spring race, it looks like.
Well, there's something to be said about a team that, once they've won a race at a track, they look back not only at how they got there, how they won the race, but also at the mistakes they made and where their weaknesses are, so that they're careful not to make those mistakes again. But it is so hard to back up wins. And,
I want to say they're based in Fort Worth, Texas.
But he's in a great spot, leading the race and just working his way through the back markers. And doing a great job driving this track. And we appreciate those guys letting us ride along with them. You're blowing into the mic there, Doc.
Who's blowing into the mic? That's not me.
That's the new guy.
It's not me. I'm not even breathing.
I stopped breathing years ago.
Took too much energy.
That's all right. We got to blame the new guy for something.
Maybe it is me. I don't know.
Yeah, it is. It's always you. Here's that local yellow that we looked at earlier. It's still waving, but looks like they've left the corner, so I'm not sure what the yellow's all about. But at any rate, we're just getting started out here. 6 laps turned. Looney Tunes, boy, JSK has made the pass on American Express. They're right on their tail that last time through. So, and their lap times are considerably quicker. I don't know, did I miss a pass? I'll have to keep an eye on them here, but JSK Racing, the number 176. Hunting down the leader here, probably going to take over the lead.
Just went into the lead from what Race Hero shows.
Okay, so they made the pass and I didn't even see it. So JSK in that Nissan Maxima. Those guys
they made the pass. They're already out of view.
Yeah, they're tough. They're 5 seconds out. I mean, they're killing it. They're over the hill.
Well, they both won here before, so it should be no surprise, right?
Yeah. And there really isn't anything.
Skate out to a 5-second lead so quickly.
Well, yeah, his times, though, I mean, he was running several seconds a lap faster. It's a much faster car.
Yeah, 2:51, 7:58.
5 seconds that last time through. That's pretty significant gap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You figure a tenth of a second at 85 miles an hour is a car length, so 5 seconds, man, that's it's like
I'm
50
not so
car
good at
lengths.
math.
It's a long way away.
Ouch.
Around one of the Miatas that are out here this weekend. Miata's obviously really popular in the Champ Car Endurance Series racing, especially out west, which is where we're going to be here in November, 17th and 18th. The full sports car roval out there at Auto Club Speedway. Come join us. Atlanta Motorsports Park. 60 teams already signed up last time I checked. Still some room out there if you want to come out and join us at AMP next weekend. If you're in the area, come on out, help us run the race. If you're not going to be driving, you could always use the help. Get you some credits towards your next race or some cash.
Are you coming to AMP, Tiffany?
I am not going to make that.
Oh,
Sorry.
they're going to let me drive there.
Really?
Yeah.
He's going to run the broadcast.
Oh, I'll be there.
Okay.
I'll run the broadcast and Doc can drive and have fun.
I'm going to do the third stint on Saturday, and I'm going to do the second stint on Sunday.
Gotcha.
Because I haven't gotten hardly any seat time at all this year. And I ain't spending this kind of money not to drive.
So here's a team we got to keep an eye on. Ludicrous Speed. They're up in 12th right now. They're turning 255s that last time through, so they're on pace with the leader. And so is Motor Crap. That's another D-Class car turning similar lap times, so we got to keep an eye on them. So both those teams, that's 11th and 12th, climbing their way up through the field. And we're getting a message from the tower that the 555 car needs a flat toe from the pits.
That's Polar Bear Racing. Not too familiar with that team.
So they must be hurt. And the number
also
95.
The Gangsters of Love team is evidently on pit row.
Okay. Number 95 was towed in, so that might be the car that was stranded out there at the bus stop. Back through Kettle Bottoms here. You can see this familiar blue guardrails there as we go through Canada Corner. The lowest part of the racetrack and begin the climb. This is a really fun corner through here. To 14. Kip Mitchell watching with us. Kip's been out here before. We did some interview. We interviewed Tyler Pedersen, and that was a team that Kip was connected with when they came out here and
We're
raced
watching cars come down the front straightaway here. The track looks really wide until you get 3 cars wide going down it. Then it doesn't look wide at all. But these guys are flying. There's some really fast cars out here this weekend.
Yeah, it's not wide enough when you're on the front straightaway and you've got your 3 wide. It's a little
you've got
crazy.
that crest in the hill too.
Yeah, I really want to see 4 wide. I wonder if guys will do that today.
Yeah, I don't think you do.
Timing and scoring just went nuts when I said that. Sorry. 4 wide is a no-no word. I just think it keeps it exciting. These guys have the skill to do it. So we got a low cloud cover. The sky is turning really dark right now.
So I show 74 cars taking laps on Race Hero. It's a pretty good sized field.
And car number 201 looks like they're no brake lights. That's going to bring them in. They'll have to get that fixed. You have to have at least 2 brake lights working. As per
Thank
the
God
rules.
there isn't a brain cell requirement.
Golden Lake Racing in their Mustang Fastback Coupe. 73. A lot of race cars out there taking laps this morning. So it's 8 hours today, 8 hours tomorrow. The Frozen Rotors Winter Classic. As we head to the top of the hour here, we'll take a quick commercial break. And we'll be right back. Stay with us, everybody. Frozen rotors from Diversified Cryogenics deliver increased performance and a higher level of safety while significantly reducing braking system costs. Our proprietary 60-hour cryogenic process permanently and dramatically improves the usage life and stability of brake rotors, creating a distinct advantage in tensile strength, abrasive wear resistance, and rotor longevity. Frozen rotors, it's the cost-saving solution for better braking performance.
Lifeline is a fire suppression company. We focus on innovation and leading the market in the fire safety category. What's important to us is that we keep drivers safe, that we keep teams safe, that we spare equipment. It's motorsport, it's a dangerous environment. We certainly have gas and oil and combustibles that we're carrying along in a very dynamic environment. Fire is not uncommon. It's our job to put out the fire, make sure our drivers walk away safe, and make sure we can keep doing that. Our market-leading product is a Novec based. It's a 3M Novec fire suppressant. And what really makes us special is the delivery system. This new 8865 3620 system puts that Novec, two separate systems, puts Novec in the cockpit, Novec in the engine bay in less than a second, immediately engulfing the area with a fire extinguishant. So by flooding the area that quickly, we're able to actually put out fires, save equipment, save our drivers. Obviously, that's the most important part. And as we continue to develop, as we continue to push and innovate, we're really working hand in hand with both motorsports and military. So what does a Wayne Taylor race car that's going around the track at 180 miles an hour have to do with a personnel carrier? Very harsh environments, as we're at Sebring and this car is banging around, and the stresses on this fire system, again, to make this piece live, so that it's available, so that it will put out a fire when it's called upon.
Champ Car Endurance Series is sponsored by RVA Graphics and Wraps, a custom graphics shop that specializes in the design and production of the best quality made-to-order vehicle graphics. And by Lifeline. Lifeline uses the latest technology in motorsport fire suppression and extinguishing and is the leader of in-car fire safety systems using Novec and Triple F foam. And Willwood Disc Brakes. Willwood Engineering is a global leader and manufacturer of high-performance, original equipment disc brake solutions. And Cool Shirt Systems. Cool Shirt's personal cooling systems, vests, and garments offer comfort, safety, mobility, and durability when performance matters. And Maxxis Tires. Maxxis Tires International is committed to delivering high-performance, affordable tires to the world. And Frozen Rotors. premium cryogenically treated brake pads and brake rotors by Diversified Cryogenics. And OMP Sport, one of the world's leading manufacturers of safety equipment and tuning accessories. And by Racing Radios, the leader in racing communications worldwide, providing quality and affordable communication systems for racers and fans alike. And DiscoveryParts.com, offering the best in auto safety racing apparel. Welcome back to Road America, everyone. It is the Frozen Rotors Winter Classic. Paul Veltum along with Doc Waldrop and Tiffany Alexander here with you this weekend, calling the race as we count down these 8 hours towards the checkered flag. We have JSK Racing that just overtook for the lead here a few moments ago with Looney Tunes in P2. American Express has dropped back to third. Let's see, Javolis Racing, I'm going to say, in P4. Anderson 41 in 5th. Rusty Nuts in 6th. Premium Dudes in 7th. Tuath Autosport is in 8th. Ludicrous Speed up to 9th. Crank Yankers Racing is in 10th spot. So as it kind of expected, Ludicrous Speed moving up quickly, running those low lap times. And looks like Motorcrap also climbing up through the ranks here. They just made the pass on Crank Yankers to take over P10. And Crank Yankers just turned their fastest lap of the day so far, too, with that 2:57. So it wasn't due to a lack of effort. These Motorcrap and Ludicrous Speed moving up the field quickly. Car 72. Looks like we have impact to the left side on turn 2. I don't have them on my list, but that's the word we got from the tower. Car 72. Can you hear me okay, Doc?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I don't have 72 on there either. That's not to be unexpected. This list came out to me, I think, last week. So
far be it from us to have current information.
Yeah, well, that would make things boring.
Yeah, we don't want to do that.
No.
I think they just try to keep it interesting and change things at the last minute. So
yeah,
we can try to figure things out.
If we can bring up your volume at all, Tiffany, that'd be good. Having a little trouble hearing you.
Is that any better?
Yeah, that's a little better. So some of the words we're getting from the tower. Car 555 in the paddock now. We also got car 201 in the pits. Car 95, the hood's back down, heading back out. And car 790, that Toyota Celica, in the pits right now too. So several cars getting into the pits early to have apparently some service done, yet they did have a test day out here yesterday. So some of the teams maybe not getting the track time that they needed to shake the cars down. And I'm not expecting a whole lot of full course cautions this weekend, Doc. There's a car off driver's right, moving slowly or parked on the racetrack heading towards 14.
Yeah, I mean, there's a fair amount of runoff here, so they don't tend to do a whole lot of full course yellows to pull cars off the track here. We had several, in past years, cars that were stopped on course in bad places. So, and obviously, I believe we went full course when the Tuttle car went into the bridge, simply because the track narrows down near the bridge.
Mm-hmm.
I see a 7 and a 71, but so FYI.
Oh, okay. Well, there's TRM Motorsports on board with those guys out here this weekend and their BMW. And there's Cone Crushers just up ahead.
Up ahead, yeah.
Come on, Cone Crushers. I picked you.
It is a little early, Doc. I think
True.
they've got some time here to get this figured out.
I'm not too worried yet. I've got a pretty good streak going, though.
You do. You really do.
I think you're cheating.
I am not cheating. How could I cheat?
There it goes.
How could I, like, what? What? I'm using my fine analytical brain.
TRM trying to find their way around the Cone Crushers heading into the bus stop there, but it's not going to happen.
So we got Michael Tuttle on, and Alon's watching with us. Wingo is on there.
Just a lot of fun in this racetrack. I can't wait to get back out here and race. Almost got out here for this race. Just couldn't get it put together.
You did pretty well there at Pitt, Paulie, for a new build. 14th place on Sunday, I believe.
Oh yeah. Those guys, yeah, they
what
did
do you
all right.
mean those guys? That was you guys.
Well, it wasn't me. I wasn't out there, but yeah, they did all right. Except for getting stuck in the mud on Saturday.
Well, yeah.
Probably don't want to do that.
Really good.
That's not good for a good finish. But
No.
I don't know. They got the nose ripped off it. I saw, so there's no more bumper cover. I don't know what happened there. Oh, and Looney Tunes loses it.
Looney Tune goes around.
Looks like he's over there in turn 3, and for whatever reason, the back end came around looking for first gear. Might have tried to get on it a little early there, and that Ford horsepower took him around. See, if he'd had a Toyota, that wouldn't have happened because he wouldn't have had that kind of power.
Or an Opel.
I'm just waiting for Bill.
That kind of power. Any power, we should say, with the Opel, right? 162, a pass under yellow. 80s in pit lane. That's the Cremaster car.
Yeah.
119. Who's that?
Car 199 is the car that's being brought up. Black flag on the 199. 3 spins so far, so they're going to bring them in and have a chat.
A little chat, yep.
Make sure everything's... how's it going out there, buddy?
Yeah.
Well, it's been entertaining.
What you doing?
What you doing out there?
Congratulate him on his driving techniques.
Yeah, I like the way Dana puts it in his driver's meeting. He says, look, there's 2 black flags. One is a black flag with an orange meatball in the center. That means I have a problem with your car. He says, such as mechanical, that sort of thing. We also have a solid black flag. That means I have a problem with you. And I have a feeling that driver got the full black flag.
Yeah. Emergency vehicle towing one of the cars off track. Their driver's left as they head down the back stretch here.
He's getting passed by a lot of cars here.
Yeah, he's definitely under the normal speed. Of course, he eased up a little bit there.
Right.
But he's just getting freight trained.
Yeah, he's not under power at all.
But we're watching him here. He's obviously under some kind of power, but I wanted to see if he'll come into the pits here. And had a little trouble grabbing gear there. Went down to second, up to third. Got a message, car 251 spun in turn 8. That's the Carfab Motorsports guys in their Cavalier. Yeah, he's just letting tons of people go by. The car that was leading this race earlier today, something appears to be amiss. So 13 laps turned. They're still shown in P2, though, in race.
Well, he hasn't crossed the timing loop.
Yeah. Yeah, still working his way around the track here. So obviously not up to full speed after that spin.
Yeah, I mean, from what I hear, the car sounds okay, but I don't know if he damaged a wheel, flat spotted done.
Yeah, he's definitely not hardly anything under power. I wonder if he'll bring it into the pits this time through.
I'm sure he will.
I wonder if he had some kind of mechanical that caused him to go off or something.
That's car number 101, so we'll be watching to see if they come in. Number 43, Sparks on the left front brakes, probably running those. There are brake pads that do that. What's the name of those pads that do that once they're burnishing?
I don't have a car 43 on my list, so
yeah, that's actually normal. So Looney Tunes getting passed left and right. Probably going to bring it in. Yeah. Yeah, mostly left. He's letting them go on the outside. Because it's a right turn track. I'm glad you couldn't.
Yeah, he's on pit road now.
Yeah.
Number 43 is LDR, B-class car.
Yeah, 119 just came into pit lane, and right behind him is the Looney Tunes Mustang. He's going down pit lane right now, following the blue neon of 119, who's made too many spins today. I'll tell you what, guys, these clouds are looking black coming at us.
Now there is some chance of rain.
And they're dark.
40% chance, which would really mix things up too.
I want to go back in that Pontiac when it starts raining. That was such a blast to watch.
We can just stand in its shadow and avoid the snow.
Yep. That's a big old car.
$119 is the Noble Gas Racing car.
Ludicrous speed, one of the big movers out here.
So looking on the weather map here in race control, it looks like this pink stuff might miss us. It's kind of like going around us. The awesomeness of our race cars is causing the vortex to spin up and cause
push the clouds away.
Yeah, keep the clouds away.
That's it, huh, Bill?
Yeah,
it's got to be it, right?
I watched a lot of Weather Channel over the past few weeks.
That's
clearly.
That's science, man. That's what that is.
Discovery Channel, Weather Channel. I did practice my my standing in the wind look, making it look 5 miles an hour, like 200 mile an hour wind.
Right.
I will be showing that later.
Brace yourself.
I can picture Bill doing that.
I don't know what you mean, Doc.
I don't know if y'all heard him call the kart race last night, but that was hysterical.
No, I didn't.
This is why Bill's not allowed to call races.
He made some comment that I can't tell who's in which car. And it's like, well, that's pretty much like the normal broadcast, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah, somebody made fun of me about they're one wide going into turn one.
Yes.
That's great.
Good times, man. Good times.
Hey, you know what? We do need to give a shout out. Today is Ray Frank's birthday.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so happy birthday, Ray.
You gotta spread that shit around.
Yes.
We got a message.
He's like 100. He's like 100 now.
Only from working with you, Bill.
Oh, that man, when he gets adrenaline flowing through him, he gets ready to fight. And last night I made a joke about me doing a faster lap than him, and he wanted me to put my helmet back on and go out there.
I bet he did.
Yeah, he was serious.
Ray's a competitive guy.
It scared me. It was a side of Ray I'd never seen before.
Like I said, you should have told him earlier. You could have made the whole group sing it.
Oh, we have tomorrow or tonight.
Yeah.
Or tomorrow.
We've got raindrops in turn 12 reported.
Raindrops in turn 12. Raindrops keep falling on my head.
Do they keep falling on his
God,
head?
I knew that was going to come. And I still wasn't prepared for it.
I need to find me a snow song.
No, we're not going to have any more snow.
Yeah, Christmas music, please, Paulie.
I'll see what I can do.
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Hey, it's the Winter Classic. We got a winter.
That's right.
You know, the Winter Classic. We got to do that.
I want Barber to be 72 and sunny.
I do
Right?
too.
Yeah.
With a slight rate. Are you working, Barber? Yeah, Corn will be at Barber. Corn actually approved that. Corn is our timing and scoring professional. He
Car
has
311 in the pits right now.
He has taken over. Since Dana moved up, we needed a better person to do this. Hopefully, Dana's not listening.
Right?
Car 200, Skidmark Racing, has shared a stream with us, Paulie.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Thanks.
Yeah, we have to be careful about all that right now.
Yeah.
Right now, it's some of the big movers. If you're just tuning in, we're here at the Frozen Rotors Winter Classic. It's the Champ Car Endurance Series presented by RVA Graphics and Wraps. JSK Racing is leading by about 37 seconds over P2, but we've got Motorcrap and Ludicrous Speed working their way up through. Motorcrap's kind of left Ludicrous behind. They were right next to each other earlier, so I don't know if they went into the pits for something or what's going on with those guys, but we're on board with them. It looks like they're up to full song.
Bavarian Mustache Works moved up into 8th place.
And we got a report that there was some rain spotted in turn 12, so we might be getting some of the wet stuff, and that'll slow things down. One of the in-car cameras we have planted this weekend is in the TRM Motorsports Racing BMW 318 IS. They've got some Tire Rack sponsorship going on there. Unfortunately, we don't have a very good feed for some reason, but I think that's just on our system here. Camera's looking great. JSK's continuing to pull out away. We had Looney Tunes up in the lead of the race earlier, but they've gone into the pits. Go back to their camera. Looks like the hood is up in the air, and they're still looking at that car. So something under the hood, not looking right. In that Ford Mustang.
Ken Wong was asking if Bill's got his luggage. Yes, we believe Bill's luggage was delivered yesterday.
Yes, folks. I'd like to thank the folks at American Airlines, not the first lady that actually tagged my unit.
You didn't check your tag to see where she sent your stuff?
I had a lot of tags. And one of them went to San Antonio and 2 did not. So I did get my baggage back yesterday, all in 100%. I now have my cold weather gear with my Champ Car official logoed shirts along with my really cool cop pants. So we're good to go.
Your what pants?
My cop pants. My police pants. Cop.
Oh,
COP.
cop. What makes them cop pants?
Because they're made by 5.11.
Oh.
They're really cool. They have really cool side pockets on them. Pockets everywhere. That's all the trend right now is older men wearing, pants with kinds of pockets on them.
And their dad bods?
Yes. Highlights them. Especially when you fill up the pockets. It's really cool. You can put cupcakes in them, dip.
And tater tots.
Dip.
Tater tots.
Yeah.
Tater tots.
The large bucket of popcorn from the theater.
Hey, let's not push that.
Not a large bucket. That's ridiculous. But you can put the licorice sticks in there though.
They will only set you back half a mortgage payment.
Yep. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I was kind of worried about that because I spent a lot of money on it. I got like 5 pairs to last me a week while I'm on the road, and I added that up after. I wasn't really worried, and then I started adding up the numbers yesterday, and I was like, "Holy crap, that's a lot of money in clothes."
So now,
you'll never spend that money.
The CarFab Motorsports car is now being
I was
reported
actually
as in the
referring
gravel.
to the popcorn bucket, but
Either way,
Hey, Doc, can you hear me?
yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
you're kind of low on our end on the bridge, but you're okay.
Okay, so we've got rain also reported in turn 4. Whoa, we got some feedback, somebody.
Sorry, that was me. I turned it off quick. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that.
I thought that was brake squeal.
It does sound very similar, but I know that sound anywhere. I'm very accustomed to that squealy
I
feedback.
was just amazed Bill's mic was on.
Yeah, we're getting. Yeah.
I can fix that. I can fix that. Hang on.
No, I got it.
I think Doc wants me to turn you off. I think that's what he's getting at because he's
no.
tired of the new guy jokes and he wants to be
These
done
new
with
guys, man.
Demanding, aren't they?
it. So rain definitely falling out here at Road America. I'm watching TRM here in the other screen here. Bring them up. They've got the wiper action going. You can see there's some water on the
I'm
windshield
taking my
there.
time getting ready to go on pit lane because it looks really cold out there.
Conserve all the heat you can.
Yes, ma'am. It looks brutal out there, actually.
Oh,
Hey, Doc.
Yeah,
The Cone Crushers are up to 15th place.
I know. I'm
They
watching.
are steadily moving up.
I am watching. They have moved up, 35 spots?
Yes.
I'm watching.
Ludicrous speed.
I have like a 3-race streak going where I picked the winner.
Bragger.
For the races that you're here, right?
Oh, for the races that I'm here. I missed one race. You act like I took a year off.
I don't know. Let me go look at your timesheet. I'll look at that later.
Yeah, it's over in Human Resources where I'm sure you'll be later on, Bill.
It's still an early day.
JSK continuing to pull out a lead. 42 seconds now up on P2. Rusty Nuts Racing. American Express in third in that Pontiac Grand Prix. Then it's Anderson 41. Javolis Racing in 5. Premium Dudes up to 6th. Motocrap in 7th, trying to chase them down. Lap times beginning to fall now. Sub 3-minute lap times as rain is upon us. Track is getting moist. And this section we're going through here, Kettle Bottoms, that's a spot where there's a lot of puddling. And you do have to be careful once the rain really does come down. Another place that's tricky is coming out of Canada Corner because something really interesting happens to the car under power. We're used to coming out of Canada here, and here you can see the car washes out in the wet. But this little right-hander, the back end wants to step out. You're used to going full power through here. It doesn't seem like a big challenge getting through the under power, but in the rain, it can be pretty alarming when the nose points to the wall on the right. Other than that, it's pretty straightforward racing out here in the wet. Heading up the hill in ludicrous speed. Overtaking one of the Mustangs that's out here this weekend. Lots of American Iron out here. Going by one of the BMWs painted up with the looks like the British flag. What do they call that? Union Jack?
The Union Jack, yeah.
Number
Why would a BMD? Oh, never mind.
Let's not even get into it. Number 90 dragging something behind the car. Oh, and he slides ludicrous speed backwards now into the grass, trying to find a gear. Looks like they stalled the car, trying to get back underway. Yeah, these MR2s are tricky in the wet.
I think that's Chris.
Short wheelbases. Car number 90 and 101 in the pits.
They told us today that they were looking to get a top 10 finish in that MR2, and tomorrow they're going for the win.
It's good to have goals.
Yeah, and tomorrow it should be a little bit drier out there, so a little bit more suitable for the MR2. And, of course, every time you have a little spin like that, it freaks you out, and then you're 5 seconds slower every lap for a while.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of get yourself gathered up.
Yeah.
Especially if you don't know what happened.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
You lose all confidence and like, okay, I'm not so sure about this car. And
Yeah, I mean, because it didn't look like it was overcooking it in there. All of a sudden, the car just snaps on you, and then you're like, well, I could understand if I didn't hit my braking point or didn't do this, went in there in a different gear. But when it totally snaps on you when you're not expecting, it's like, what the hell happened?
Yeah. And MR2, it's, anything could happen. Just lifting and not staying on the power, maybe just going a little too fast in there can cause that snap. But, yeah, these guys are experienced in that car, and you can see the rain on the windows there. Now, the worst part is when an MR2 hits you and sends you spinning. We'll talk about that one later during a different segment.
Wait, we have different segments?
yeah, I guess we do.
What else have y'all changed?
Everything.
43 seconds now. The gap is JSK continuing to gap Rusty Nuts, which is an EC car. So as the rains come upon us, we're just looking at these lap times. It's kind of interesting to see what the gaps are. So we'll show you that. There you can see. I'm going to mute you here, Bill. Got some background noise going on there. There we go. So it's Rusty Nuts in P2, Javolis Racing in third. So you got a 320, a 322, 325, 329, 330, 327, 323. Crank Yankers still turning pretty good lap times. Look at Bavarian Mustache Works turning in that 314 in the wet. It's just gonna really shake up the field whenever we get this. Whenever we get rain coming down. So keep an eye on that. Crash Management in their Dodge Stratus shown in the pits. And Looney Tunes also looks like they're behind the wall now working on that car. So,
Paulie, I want to pass along some thanks to you for getting Race Hero to change the lettering in their timing and scoring to that black. I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's a lot better. So
it's a lot easier to read.
Thanks, Brian. If you're listening, we appreciate you for doing that.
Yeah, thanks, Brian.
One of the cameras we have running here up coming off the tower. So racetrack obviously closest to you, pits off to the right there or towards the top of the screen. Someone did a celebration donut there.
Yeah, fairly large one.
And you can see how tight it is. He's off the grass and some of the circles.
Right, he started right up next to the wall from what it looks like.
There's just not much room there.
That was optimistic.
Rob. Yeah, Rob, we always run the chicane instead of the kink in Champ Car at Road America. Saves a lot of hardware.
Wow, JSK is really putting it down out there. 34-second, almost 35-second lead.
Yeah, they're looking strong out there. Even in the wet, they're kind of holding their own.
Well, I mean, that last lap, JSK was a 333 and Rusty Nuts was a 324.
Yeah, that wasn't a very stellar one there. But,
and you don't know. I mean, he may be catching traffic in bad places, so there's a lot of things to contribute to that.
You just have to be so careful around traffic in the wet, too. It seems like, if you're on eggshells, and it's raining, but it's not really washed the track down yet.
Right, and that's where it gets treacherous.
This is the most risky part of the rain coming down as the Pontiac goes under the start-finish line there. There's I think that might be one of the Tuttle machines, but yeah, that's when it brings up a little bit of the oils, and
Yep.
it gets really slippery out there. 516 being reported in the pits for contact with another driver, so that brings out a black flag for them. I come in and have a talk with them. Not sharing real estate. And the gorilla sticker is the team. Yeah, one of our YouTube viewers saying, yeah, we all need help when it comes to reading the fine print. Yeah. Then, so if you're watching us on YouTube, by the way, you can move the stream up to your TV. Watch us in 1080, and it's even easier yet to catch that timing and scoring pylon that we introduced at the last race. It seems to be doing really well, so we'll stick with that.
Just doing my lap counts here and watching the intervals. Crank Anchors in 7th place got a huge lead on Motor Crap.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've moved up to 7th too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cone Crushers in 14th now.
Yes.
Last report.
Yes, Bill, we have you.
How about here?
Yep. That's good.
Levels?
Yeah, that's good. Till you start screaming at us.
Test 1, 2. Test screaming.
Yeah.
Bill? Excited?
This is Bill excited.
No, this is not Bill excited, I'm afraid.
Do you have my my camera?
Not yet, but we'll get that.
I'm looking at race control. I'm staring at them, making them feel extremely uncomfortable.
I'm not going to even say anything.
Right.
God, it looks cold out there.
Oh, good grief. Cone Crushers up to 13th now.
Back on board with Ludicrous Speed and their MR2. As they're piloting a tricky, he's trying to drive offline around turn 3 there. This is heading into the backstretch. You can see short shifting there, just doing everything he can to keep as much grip as he can from the tires to the pavement. They got their cool suit hooked up. Doesn't look like he's got the defogger grid work on the window either. And I don't see a fan on it either. Looks like they're just going at it old school. They've got down into T5 here, down on the inside. So you can see the racing line that he's trying to take advantage of here in the wet. And T5 is so tricky too because it turns left just as you get down to the base of the braking zone. Under the Corvette bridge. Of course, falling down the standings now as they were running pretty strong with the D-Class Motorcraft car. The Crank Yankers now up into 7th spot, turning 326s. And just gets past, looks like Premium Dudes now takes 6th spot away from Crank Yankers.
We have a lot of cars in pit lane right now.
I was going to say, I was just doing my lap counts. It's like, wow.
A lot of broken cars. 19 is tooling around the paddock kind of slowly. I think he's looking for a way out.
You know, I lasted.
Yeah, I mean, he's actually, yeah, he did find his way out, kind of. There he goes. He's coming back on pit lane. 516 is sitting in their pit lane. That's a BMW 318 Ti, the Gorilla sticker. They're sitting in their pit lane. I can't see if there's a driver in it. Kind of looks like it, but it's hard to, yes, there's a driver in the car. They're tooling around, kind of not in a hurry. The 955, I think it is. It's a BMW, or sorry, it's a Plymouth or Dodge Neon. Yeah, 95 car is
They look so much alike though.
right in front of him, and he is just sitting there. The car's going back and forward like the guy pressed the clutch in. We've got a whole bunch of cars. The 25 is actually being pulled off a wrecker into their paddock space right now. That's a really pretty Chevrolet Cavalier, which you don't normally hear those two words put together. Really
No.
pretty and Chevy Cavalier.
You feeling okay?
But it's a nice green and silver, really painted up well. Unfortunately, it's not running right now, so they're taking that car off. It might have been one of the ones that impacted the wall. I cannot kind of remember something like that. So they're taking that off, but I didn't see any big impacts. We've got a BMW with its an E36 with the hood up. It looks like 555 or something like that. The 55 Neon is in the paddock, going kind of slow, trying to get his way out of there. Driver does not have his helmet on, so it's bucking like a Bronco out there, trying to get it down the paddock lane.
Wow, look at how gingerly they're working around the track here on board with TRM. Just very carefully working their way through 14.
Yeah, cars are coming down the front straight with their wipers going like crazy. The 213 just pulled into pit lane with his wipers.
So is it just kind of a light rain out there, Bill, or is it like a heavier rain? Or
no, it's like a mist.
Okay.
That's kind of what I see on the from the inside of race control here.
Yeah, you're up in the main tower there.
Yeah, I'm trying to get my gear all set up so I can head over to the pit lane.
But it's pretty chilly there, right?
Oh,
don't start. Jeez, why did you have to say that?
It looks like it.
God, Tiffany.
I have gone out and.
He probably looks like what? What's the guy in South Park?
Yeah.
I was
Kenny.
thinking of the
Kenny
tire guy, the big white fluffy.
The little brother from Christmas Story in the
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a lot.
The snowsuit.
The wind has picked up. It's going from pit in to pit out, and you can see water just being thrown off the easy ups out there. So far, the easy ups have stayed where they need to stay. Looks like guys have tied them down pretty well. Yesterday we had some issues with easy ups folding on some guys because they had them tied down, but the wind was just way too strong. Some of the guys are holding down their easy ups now across from us in the pit lane here from race control. That's always entertaining. But
so
yeah,
I was thinking if it's misting and it's chilly and going to get chillier, are we contemplating that we might see some of the fluffy white stuff?
Well, that's what the Weather Channel says.
That's what I was wondering.
Yeah, it's happened before to us out here. It's never fun.
That makes for an interesting race. I mean, driving in the rain is a talent, but
How about this track, driving in inclement weather?
Well,
I drove here during a rainstorm a couple of years ago with the MR2. It wasn't that bad.
No.
I mean, it wasn't great. I've been on tracks where it spits on it and you're just spinning everywhere. But this track wasn't that bad. The traction was pretty good. But it was about this temperature in the 40s when we did it. You got off into the yellow lines at a couple of corners there, and where you can go wide, and it got really slippery. But you can also break parts. That's where we broke an axle here. I think we were probably about 30 laps up that race.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. 30 laps.
I'm just rounding it out. It could have been minus 30.
A lot of spinning and sliding being reported from the tower. And yeah, I raced out here in the wet in a Miata. It might have been the same race. Yeah, it wasn't too bad. Not too bad at all. Did really well, actually. I enjoyed it.
You finished you 30 laps up?
I'm sorry?
Did you finish 30 laps up?
Yeah.
Of course.
We did get a trophy. We ended up with a GoPro.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah, they gave us.
Oh, that's right, because that was your championship race. I remember that.
I don't know what that was. We ended up with a GoPro. Justin turned around and sold it. I don't know.
What?
Yeah. Well, we already had cameras.
Well, you can never have enough cameras. That's what Bill says.
I was not. Yeah, I didn't vote.
Don't
I mean, it was.
Bill. You know the rule. Whatever Bill says, you do the opposite.
That's not true. I chained my exhaust.
That's just good. This is good planning.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're on board with your 71 Pontiac here, Doc. I got it
I
spelled
know.
wrong.
I want to see some power slides.
I didn't spell Grand Prix properly, but that's where we're at.
What did you spell? How could you misspell Grand Prix?
I got him dyslexic. Prix. There we go. Somehow I got the R and the I swapped or something. There we go.
Grand Perks.
It was bizarre. It's not bizarre enough being Prix.
Right.
They know what I mean.
Pontiac had some great names back then. You know, the Bonneville, Le Mans, GTO, Catalina.
Catalina.
Yeah, Catalina.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't remember that one.
Yeah, that was a big old boat as well. Just, it was their luxury four-door.
Oh. I had a few Pontiacs back in the day. I had a Grand Am and then the Firebird, which is my
Right. Well, the
my
first car I ever
college.
first car I ever brought new with my own money was the 1970 GTO when I was 16 years old.
Yeah.
So Crank Yankers has gotten back around Premium Dudes. They're these two teams going back and forth here with these two E30s. So Crank Yankers up to 6th, Premium Dudes in 7th, Black Pearl in 8th, Motorcrap in 9th spot, and GMW Factory Racing in 10th. I wonder what that's all about, GMW Factory.
So the Black Pearl cars, any of the Pearl cars are local guys here that they work at the track. Jason Pearl is one of the drivers in those cars. He is our IT guy here at the track. So they know this track like crazy. They actually won the karting event last night. Again, they have so much track time here. So they were the ringer drivers. But
Sure.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with the Pirates of the Caribbean.
who knows? He kind of looks like a pirate.
So winds have picked up to about 20 miles an hour. Got a car off in turn 6. Again, more reports coming in. Number 400 in the pits. Lots of spinning and sliding cars as they're working their way around in the wet. And but again, as Bill alluded to, and there's one of the cars off at Canada Corner that Bill and I both alluded to. Once this track gets washed down, it's really not too bad. And as fast as it is, you think it'd be terrifying, but it's really not that bad. Again, the only spot that I found that was pretty tricky was right here, but the connection between Canada Corner and the following corner there, that right-hander under power.
You know, the secret, and Mike Chiswick tells me this all the time, the secret to going really fast, or the secret to doing really well at a track that's raining and slippery and stuff like that is to slow down.
Oh.
And it's kind of hard to get these guys to do that. As we can see by all the spinning and going off the track.
They're still racing.
Yeah, but you can slow down and race too. It's hard to beat the guy in front of you when you're spinning off into a wall somewhere. Unless you're in front of him and he's spinning off into the wall. And then it all comes down to where you guys hit and the positions are ultimately when the record takes you out. So, but it's seriously, it's not always about going fast. You can slow down and stay on the track. Wait for it to dry, hold back, and then once it dries up a bit and the rain goes away or whatever, then go. And we had this happen with the 24-hour where it just rained and rained and rained. We held back and the rain went away in the morning and we came back and did quite well.
So emergency vehicle flag being shown there in T5 as we finish up with the sage wisdom of Bill Strong rolling off his lips into the broadcast. There's that car off track at the top of the hill there.
So if you're at VIR this December, just remember, go slow unless let the yellow car pass all the time. Just go slow and do well.
So the rule is go slow and let the yellow car by.
Yes,
in the wet.
always.
That's okay.
Never.
Yeah.
Never.
Taking notes here. Let the yellow car. Okay, got it.
Yes.
Bye. Yeah.
And here at Road America, if you do see the yellow car, that is the pace car. Do not hit the yellow car.
Yeah.
Frown on that. Yeah.
So, yeah, Brian Beasley saying the trick is to slow down less than the other guys in the rain.
And don't push them faster. That's all.
Said Randy Pope's taught him that. Randy, of course, will be joining us next weekend at AMP. He's going to bring the old Happy Moose Volvo out.
Yeah, I told him he needs to paint that a different color. It needs more yellow.
Oh, goodness.
Always with the yellow.
By the way, his team name is Happy Moose.
Happy Moose.
So if you want to follow along, you see that in the running. That's Randy's car.
Such a nice guy.
I wonder where he got that.
Is.
I gotta find
he's
out
all right.
where he got that name from.
He's not all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is. He's all that in a bag of chips.
Oh,
see how last year he did quite well there, winning the championship for Biohazard MR2.
Sideways.
Not just him, but he was
one of the drivers. Jerry Inger was in there as well, right? How's Jerry doing today, anyway?
Losing.
It's not that cold, Bill.
I don't know. I can't talk to him up here in the.
Let me see.
Confines of race control, but I'm getting ready to head out there. Paulie, did you get my camera going?
I see it.
Oh, okay.
I haven't captured it.
Don't do it now because it's.
Oh, Jerry's down in 62nd spot.
Yeah, it looks like he's in the pits, so they may be having trouble with that car. Along with Looney Tunes, Utter Chaos, Dire Straits, FB Racing.
Yep.
Yeah, we got an orange Mustang in pit lane now, too. The SN99, the number 400. Doesn't have the proper number panels on his car. I need to go.
You're supposed to be the DIC, right?
We had some issues.
I see.
He's got the number panel on. He just doesn't have the number on the number panel.
Well, what's the point of the number panel then?
Well, some of these race series,
I'm confused.
Some of these other race series guys just can't follow directions.
So it's JSK still up front. Rusty Nuts looks like they've dove into the pits here as we're coming up towards the top of the hour. Javolis Racing in third. Anderson 41 in fourth. American Express in fifth. Crank Yankers in sixth spot. Premium Dudes in seventh. They've dropped about 30 seconds back from Crank
if you're
Yankers.
having to pit right now, that's not good.
No, Black Pearl Racing in eighth. TRM Motorsports in ninth. And Stinky Rat Trap in 10th. Where do these guys get these names? Really
They're quite creative sometimes.
Oh, wait a minute. What happened to Cone Crushers? They're down in 16th now.
They were just in 14th. Did they pit? Or they just moved down like in the last minute?
Yeah, I had them up to 13th place about, 20 minutes ago.
Right, and then I think this Spartan Racing must have passed them.
It's too early for them to pit.
Way too early.
Those 944s have illegal gas tanks in them. I mean, large gas tanks in them.
Speaking of large gas tanks, American Express is coming into the pits.
Yep. Now I could see that car having to pit right now.
Every 20 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about them, but I can only assume that, like my GTO, you can watch the gas gauge move
as you push the pedal, right?
Yep, exactly. Thank God they were building I-30 through DFW.
Aren't they interconnected though? The faster you press it, the faster the gauge moves.
It's true enough, but I mean, in most cars, you can't see it move. In this big old American Iron, you can see it move. Motor blown in turn 5.
Ooh, if that put some oil down on the track, then that wouldn't be pleasant.
That wouldn't be good.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that would be pretty intense getting through there.
Less than ideal.
Heading up through Canada Corner here. Got a message that the car that blew its motors, or engine, as it should be said, is off in turn 5. Motors are in golf carts, engines are in cars.
Is that the differentiation?
Yeah.
I never knew.
Electric motors, that's what you put in a golf cart, not a car. Although,
gotcha.
there are some cars with electric motors, so I guess that's... Maybe things have changed, but...
Yeah, my dad used to really yell at me for stuff like that as a,
I bet you yelled at you for a lot of things, Bill.
Boy, that wind is really picked up out here.
Here we go.
It is absolutely...
We got to get it. We got to get a camera on you, Bill.
It's 41 degrees, gentlemen. Now, all you see is the seat of the car. I'm actually driving right now.
And a 10-mile-an-hour headwind.
Yeah, I'm trying not to slide off the access roads here because I don't want to be
blown off the track. You don't want to be blown off into the grass.
All I can see is when we go to camera, he's going to look like Jim Cantori.
I've got my my Champ Car jacket on now. It's a one of one.
Yeah.
No, it is. It's the only one out there. Yeah, I had it made. It looks just like the Weather Channel ones, guys. So
Lord.
Does it flap a lot in the breeze? Great.
Oh.
It's one of those plastic ones, yeah. Makes that
no,
rattly sound.
This is professional Weather Channel quality gear.
But does it rattle in the wind?
No, it doesn't make noise.
Well, it needs
Not as much noise as this Toyota Corolla does with the hey, you need to put on your seatbelt thing.
Why are we talking about that? I don't...
That's his rental car thing.
Yeah, why are we talking about Bill's rental car?
Because I have to put a plug in for Toyota.
It's in your contract that you have to...
Yeah, no doubt.
So, well, Ludacris just went through turn 5 just fine, so they must not be slowing down too much for that, but there's still a waving yellow at the top of the bridge there, the Corvette bridge at turn 6, and there's one of the emergency vehicles just up ahead. It looks like, yep, they got a car up on the flatbed. It looked like it might have been a Miata.
Kind of looked like a green one. I hope that's not Milan.
Yeah, it was a darker color.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it was bright enough to be Team Milan.
Go to their YouTube channel and take a look. They have a live, either YouTube or Facebook, they have a live cam up.
Thanks, Bill, but I can't find it.
Oh, so, okay, I'm sorry. You probably said something earlier. Don't yell at me, Paulie.
No, I show them up in 24 spots, so.
They're still slinging along there. Two brothers.
A lot of guys, a lot of guys are just holding back, and they're just letting the weather go by, and it's a long race, 8 hours. And
so, Rusty Nuts and American Express both in the pits right now.
I'm headed over there right now, by the way. Just got to find me a parking spot.
A quick look at TRM. Heading down that...
in 9th place. Man, they've moved up, 48 spots.
Doing real well at Tire Rack
That has
sponsor.
to be one of our biggest gainers. Oh, Stinky Rat Trap up 59 spots.
Yep. Crank Yankers now up to 4th with Rusty Nuts and American Express going into the pits. That moves them up. Premium Dudes in P5 right now. They're not ready to pit yet. With this rain, they should be able to stretch it out close to 2 hours, both those guys. We'll see how they do. JSK showing up a lap over Javolis Racing Team in P2. So it's JSK, Javolis Racing, Anderson 41, Crank Yankers Racing, Premium Dudes, Black Pearl Racing, TRM Motorsports, Stinky Rat Trap, Rusty Nuts, and American Express in P10.
I'd love to hear the story behind Stinky Rat Trap Racing.
Oh.
Not even Sticky Rat Trap.
Right.
Yeah, that'd be an interesting story. We're going to continue to bring those wind speed up to 22 miles an hour. So continue to the weather continuing to worsen out here. But we're going to continue, Doc and I are going to continue to work on bringing in more interviews with other teams that we don't normally talk to at the track. Getting to know more teams and drivers and all that. So, I don't know. Maybe we'll get a chance to talk to those guys too.
If we only had a pit reporter.
Getting there, guys. I'm getting there. I have to put my pit reporter gear on.
Oh, Lord. He's got an outfit for that, too.
It's a production, yeah.
Let me find a way to spin this camera around here. I don't know if I can here.
We get the play-by-play of Bill's angst in the pits. Yeah. Just kind of mid-tracking it through the corner there. That's an interesting line there.
Yeah, we have 71 down on pit lane right now. They got the door open on that car. We got a plumber sitting down here too. Don't go to my camera.
All right, so Ludicrous Speed still on board with those guys.
There you go. Got it.
27 laps into the race. Yep.
Whew, that wind is strong. People holding down their tents right now. Some guys that their tents being held down by string. That's not a good idea. A lot of guys fighting to hold down their tents. I mean, the wind has really picked up here on pit lane. These cars should be doing about 200 miles an hour down this front straightaway with that tailwind they have. Down here at the 71 pit, they're putting fuel in the car, driver's out. Guy's getting yelled at for having his, actually, I don't know if they did an equipment check coming down. We can do that as we walk down. Well, there's some funny stuff coming out of when I breathe.
When you breathe?
I can see my breath. What's up with that? That's weird.
It's those near blizzard conditions, Bill.
No, it is.
So American Express still in the pits right now, so obviously something wrong with that car. They're under the hood of it. Another team that we were following earlier, we also have a camera in, is the Looney Tunes car. They've got a tarp over the car. So it doesn't look like they're going out anytime soon. Is that a parachute?
Looney Tunes does?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, they're working on the car.
Yeah, so it doesn't look like a win is...
Oh, yeah, I see them. They've got the hood up on the car. Let's go find out what's going on. I'm right down here.
Doesn't look like a win is in the cards for those guys. Yeah, it's the 71 Pontiac Grand Prix, Brian.
All right,
they've been out here with us before, and it's a lot of fun watching them.
Oh, it looks like they're putting on a new alternator on the car.
Yeah.
Is that what it was?
Broke.
Oh, rocker arm broke. So they're getting that fixed and also putting a new alternator on.
All right.
They've got those fancy rocker arms. Good for 20,000 RPM, but not 21,000 RPM.
That's what caused them to go off track.
Possibly. I mean, when you lose power like that, when you're expecting power to be there and it's not, you can spin. So they're putting the new rocker arms on, and they just got the alternator back in. Wind has really picked up down here. They've got one of their crew members trying to hold down the tent. It's always difficult to work in these conditions with the wind. The rain you can always deal with. It's the wind that you can't deal with. Even our workers along pit lane, even our workers along pit lane, they're having to stand out in this. Got a car changing tires already. Looks like they're putting on their rain tires.
Probably not a bad idea. The crank anchors are up to third place.
Yes, they are putting on rain tires. These are all-weather tires they're putting on. not the Go Fast 180 treadwear stuff.
The snow tires?
Yep, no, they're not snow tires. They're just regular all-weather tires. But that's the way to do it. This is on the 128 car. When your driver complains about spinning around too much, that's what you do.
Oh, they're always going to complain about something.
Race car drivers.
Oh, and the Motorcraft team is stuck off in the gravel in turn 3. That was a team, Motorcraft. They were moving up the ranks, and now they're outside of the top 12 now. I see they're stuck in the gravel.
So it's kind of cool that when you look down pit lane, you can always tell the teams that are going to pit here soon. They've got their fire suits on, their helmets on. But I think a lot of these guys are doing that just to stay warm.
Yeah, I mean, my driver's suit is the warmest piece of clothing I own.
Yeah.
All those layers help.
So the 71 is here. Here comes the 700, the TR7, or TR007 as they call it. The 790 Celica is just coming in. Looks like they're going to do a driver stop.
Yep, cruise over the wall.
Hey, you can't fuel until you get a 10-pounder. That's too little. Needs to be a full-size grown-up one. You got to have 10-pounders. That's what we're told. You cannot fuel until you get it. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Visor down. Visor down. Visor down.
Yell at people.
It is surprising.
Why doesn't get good interviews?
Well, I'm just surprised how many guys don't know these things. This is,
Where's your 10-pound fire extinguisher, guys? You see the gauge? Turn it around for him to see the gauge. Cool. Don't look there.
So Bill's doing a little bit of checks down in the pits while he's walking around. Meanwhile, back on the racetrack, we're still under green. Ludicrous speed kind of easing away around the track. There's another emergency vehicle off. Driver's left. That might be turn 3. Yeah, that is. That's the spot where the Motorcraft team went off and ended up in the gravel.
So one of the other things I just noticed is that teams are filling up with funnels. These guys have a funnel built into their Celica. The wind is taking the fuel and just slinging it around too.
Wow.
So this is, I mean, you can see it here. This is pretty bad.
This is one of the reasons why we're not going to allow funnels starting in 2019.
Yep. Yeah, the wind just hits it and sends it out.
Ludicrous speed heading up the hill under the Corvette bridge. Still driving offline. Not running wipers anymore, but the track is still wet. So that weather may be moving on now. All right, quick station break for ID. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone, to Road America for the on ChampCar.live. It is the Frozen Rotors Winter Classic for the Champ Car Endurance Series, presented by RVA Graphics and Wraps. Paul Veltum, Bill Strong, Doc Waldrop, Tiffany Alexander with you, calling the race all weekend long. It's a double 8 this weekend, 8 hours of racing today and tomorrow, with nearly 80 teams here this weekend at Road America, located in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. Right now it's Team JSK Racing leading the way. Javolis Racing in second. Crank Yankers still in P3. Anderson 41 in fourth. Black Pearl, where's Premium Dudes? Down in sixth.
They're hanging in there.
Yeah. TRM Motorsports in seventh. Stinky Rat Trap in eighth. Land Shark in ninth. And now Clueless Racing moves into 10th. So a couple EC cars up front as the track is wet, but it looks like the rain has subsided a little bit.
Well, I mean, gosh, you look at it, hardly anybody's keeping up with JSK.
Yeah, JSK is still gap in the field pretty significantly. They just ran a 336 not a bad lap time. There's some competitors running a little bit quicker behind them. There's TRM Motorsports turning in at 3:31. So,
but yeah, I mean, JSK's got already a lap up on 9th place on back from the last time I looked. So they're really putting a spanking on the field. And these are the guys that they messaged me the other day that they've had a win here every year since 2015. So,
got a report that car 700 had contact with a wall. And that's the James Bondo car.
That's the James Bondo team.
Yeah, it's a shame. They've had some crazy happenings. They had a wheel come off out here. They've had some just really strange things happen to them out here at this racetrack.
They've hit a wall. They might need more Bondo.
That's true. Which is a shame, you know. They got this vintage car that they tow around with them, and
yeah, and it's listed as a TR7. I believe it has the TR8, that aluminum Buick engine in it.
They used to tow it around with these wooden wheels on it. It was really strange. I didn't understand what that was all about.
That's probably some sort of English requirement. British Leland mandate, you know.
So that's the report we got from the tower about the James Bondo team. Ludicrous speed, still turning laps, driving the rain line, just biding at time here, waiting for the track to dry out so they can go back up to speed. Crank Yankers coming across the start-finish line with that 3:41.
Yeah, the TR7 and the TR8 were really the last gasp of the British Leland Motor Corporation. The TR7 was reasonably successful, but, you know, the MG had folded, basically. Triumph was the last manufacturer standing besides, you know, like Aston Martin and the really high-dollar cars. And they kind of bet it all on the TR8 when they put an aluminum engine, Buick engine in it, a V8, but it wasn't enough to save them. And the TR8 was really just a TR7 with the corners rounded off. So, I mean, it wasn't exactly what you'd call a revolutionary car.
But the old TRs, what's a TR3 or 4 or something?
And fours, yeah.
The low slung, beautiful design.
Yeah, the old saloon racers.
Yeah.
And you still see a ton of those at the vintage races.
My dad and I saw one of those at Gingerman in town. Got some nice pictures of it, one of the white ones. So some of the races coming up, we're at Atlanta Motorsports Park here next weekend. There's still some spots available out there, not many. You got about 60 teams signed up there. And then we're off to Auto Club Speedway in Fontana, California. That's about, it's a ways out yet, but that's November 17th and 18th. And there's spots available there, too, running the full sports car Roval. It's one of the $1,400 races.
Somebody posted some videos on the Champ Car Facebook page of a lap around there at a recent test day. I want to say maybe it was Alchemy Racing or Ludicrous. Not Ludicrous. Mine's gone blank. It's not that unusual.
Well, you're new
there
too.
if you want to check it out. Yeah.
Seems to be its default position.
A little bit of wipers usage there, heading down. Looks like the front straightaway. No, this is looks like they're going into 5 here. Being very careful going through here. And, of course, we had that report earlier. There was an engine blown in this corner, so double jeopardy there.
Hey, your dad's with us on Facebook, Paulie.
Yeah.
Hey, Don.
Hope he's still watching. Probably.
He's probably riveted to us.
Yeah, who wouldn't be, right?
I mean, exactly.
Oh, geez.
He might be our biggest fan,
And we keep
Might be
going.
our
I
only
was going to say that's where I was going too. Like at this rate, we keep going like this. He might be the only one. It's just because his son runs the show. It's more of it's a charity thing. He just feels guilty. It's like, Dad, did you see the show? Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah, that's nice.
Whoa! Wrong button there. Sorry about that.
Yeah, that's nice, son. Glad you found a hobby.
Exactly. Got a report that car 606 has passed under yellow, so they'll be brought in and spoken to about that. Their BMW.
Of course, we're kidding about Paulie. Folks, if you don't know, Andrea was the one that was working on getting us to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and they frankly told her a lot of the reason why they're allowing us to race there, other than the money, is the fact that they watched our broadcast and watched Paulie's work on these videos that he produces for us.
And he saw how awesome Paulie's work was.
Yeah, exactly.
It's pretty exciting to be going out there for everybody. Everybody's pumped about it. So if you haven't heard the news, in 2019, the Champ Car Endurance Series will make history once again, as Champ Car will debut at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Champ Car will make history at the Speedway with the longest running race ever held at the Brickyard. In its long history, it is the second oldest racetrack in the world. We're going to be doing it twice, too. Champ Car will have 2 10-hour races that weekend. So if you join us, your team will have more track time in a single day's event than any event ever in the history of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Registration opens November 1st at midnight. So hope you'll join us. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to pull out all the stops. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
My car will be up there. Oh, and by the way, I mean, if you're listening and you go, wow, I could race at Indy, one of the rules for this race, we're limited to 100 cars, and that's for 2 10-hour days. You must have raced that car with us in the previous year in order to register.
Yeah, no new teams for just that race, right?
Yeah.
It's the cars, I believe. Yeah, no new cars / teams. Yeah,
right.
So.
Yeah.
So if you want to bring an extra car, you need to get it out to a race between now and then so that it qualifies to make the race, if that makes any sense. We want to make sure that there's enough spaces available for the people that normally race with us. That's really the main reason behind that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, because there are people crazy enough to build a car just to race at Indy.
Or bring out 4 or 5 cars if they've got deep pockets, and then they've soaked up all the spots, and then our regulars don't get a chance to run at our inaugural event. So we want to make sure we got spots for them. So in all fairness, that was the decision that was made.
And that's fair.
Yeah, that's fine. Wind picking up hard being reported now from the tower, so those wind speeds continuing to climb, and I think it's I'm sorry, I can't pronounce your name over there on YouTube, but asking how's the weather going there? How's the weather out there on the ground? Looks like the rain has subsided somewhat, although I'm seeing mist on the windshield.
It's pretty cold down here. The wind's really picked up. Leaves are blowing in my face.
Leaves?
I can barely stand. This guy got pulled in for something. What did he get pulled in for?
Driving too slow.
Was he?
Driving real slow and a real erratic.
All right, so we're just making sure he's okay. How much longer do you have?
50 seconds.
So, you new at this? No. No? No, I am not. It's all right. Just get out there. Be safe, man. All right. That's a 606 car. Passing under yellow. That's a lot different than driving.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was messing with Jay earlier yesterday. He's just getting me back. Jay's just getting me back right now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The fun has just begun.
Night.
Okay.
It's going to be bad, he says.
So, Bill, what was it like that qualifying last night at the go-kart track? How was that?
It was intense. It was, these guys are just out of control. I'll tell you, no, it was pretty awesome. I got out there and got to do about 7 minutes on the track. Of course, I was the fastest guy out there.
Sure.
They asked me to like pit because I was so fast and awesome. They didn't want me taking over the show from the rest of the karters out there.
Right.
So, you know, as an MR2 driver, we had to pull back a little bit. But the 147, I believe that's an MR2. He's now coming into pit lane.
So not only is it windy at the track, but it's also getting deep out there.
Very deep.
Hey, I think somebody's hacked our systems.
No, that's the new guy, Bill.
Oh, okay. I didn't recognize the voice there, so.
Right.
Yeah, that's just the new guy.
Yeah.
It's the FNG.
So it is raining along pit lane. It's a light mist. It's not bad. The wind is pretty terrible. And this is for real. It is cold. I can't tell how cold it is, but it is very cold.
Yeah, this is a view at Pit Out, if you're wondering, by the way. One of our cameras down there on the rail.
We got a car on the record. It's that TR-007, the 700 car.
Yeah, that's the James Bondo car. They were in the wall earlier, Bill.
Yeah, it looks like the right front wheel is towed in at an extreme angle, one that you don't really want to have unless you're making like a left turn. But it won't turn right very easily.
That's too bad.
Yeah. Unlike the TR7 we had last week, that one's gonna need a little banging.
The temperature's supposed to be a high of 42 today out there in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. If you're just joining us, it's the Frozen Rotors Winter Classic.
How are the conditions out there?
Our car's handling terrible in the rain right now. I think it has something to do with the cold weather, but yeah, it's really slowing us down, the wet and cold.
So are you getting ready to get in the car? You just have the helmet on to keep you warm?
I am getting ready to get in the car. This is Scott with Cone Crushers.
What team are you guys?
Cone Crushers.
I thought that sounded like Scott.
You guys are kind of famous, right?
Well, we've been doing it a while, and we've got a lot of trophies. Is that sleet?
That is sleet falling from the sky. Wow. Somebody's throwing confetti at us from the clouds.
This will be my first time in the sleet. We got last year in December, we drove in the snow. So, but this is our first time at Road America.
Yeah.
All right, so they're getting ready to pit. If you come to my camera, you can see it's big. It's
golf ball size. Yeah.
Yeah. Look at that.
It's the size of basketballs.
It's bouncing all over us.
Take cover, Bill. Take cover.
I'm taking cover.
Put that cone on your head.
Oh, the humanity.
Put that pylon on your head.
This is incredible. Us Southern people don't know what this stuff is.
This is horrible.
Nice and warm.
I'm still not.
She's not happy. The girls are not happy right now.
So how you guys doing out there?
We're in second overall and second in our group.
So second from the front or from the back?
By this, I don't know. Front, I guess. From the front.
Oh, and they have one of those heating things down there. They have one of those Mr. Heaters.
And we're bringing tarps.
It's a 125,000 BTU heater. So I'm going to be down in this pit for a while.
Ask them what their team name is.
Hey, what's your team name?
Lithuanian Animals.
And what's your car number?
707.
And how many GD parts do you have on your car?
All of them.
Okay, good.
Linguini, did he say?
What did he say the team name was?
He said Lithuanian Animals, but it's listed on race here as Gavolis or whatever.
Javolis,
the 707, yeah.
Lithuanian Animals.
Ask him what that means, Bill.
Yeah, the GYVULYS.
Yeah, whatever. So
he must be near the heater.
Bill takes directions so well.
Yeah, he does. He basically does whatever he wants, and then we just
more or less
we take whatever good seems to be there from it.
There's some snow mixed in with this, by the way. I do know what snow looks like because I live in the Blue Ridge Mountains. Though the last couple of years we haven't had very much. So the C555, they've loaded that car onto their trailer. They looked a little bit dejected.
I think it was about 4 years ago that we did have sleet out here, and they red flagged the race for a while.
Yeah, it gets slippery. Not sticking or anything.
Drive on
it's just
sleet.
in the ground and melting pretty quick.
You can't race on sleet anyway, so not very easily. So it might come to that, especially with the size of that sleet. It's huge.
When you're driving, do you see sleet on the window? You really can you?
Well, it's not building up on the Ludicrous car. We're on board with them right now.
Oh, the 112 MR2 is being towed in.
Yeah, we're seeing that here.
Yeah, blue shell.
It's a sad day. It's a Gen 1 MR2 coming into the pits.
Yeah, that was an accidental entry. So I was talking to their team.
Accidental?
Yeah, they actually run Fords. The guys are all actual Ford employees, and
he meant to sign up for Fontana.
One of their drivers is a famous MR2 guy, and he had an MR2 as well. So one of their Fords, they were going to enter it. They didn't know if the other one would be okay, so they used the MR2 as a placeholder. One Ford broke, so they put the other one back in, and then that Ford broke in testing. So they ended up just bringing the MR2. Kind of surprised their guys, They weren't anticipating that. So I saw it on the list, and I thought it was a different car. So it's raced with us in the past. It was pretty quick yesterday. They did have some issues, but the car was thrown together in, I think, 8 hours at one point. And but yeah, sadly it's being towed in. We'll get down. I'm walking that way, so we'll ask them what happened. We got standing here next to the number 48 Toyota Celica. That has one of those 6 cylinders, basically 3 generation of the SC300 engine and precursor to the SC300 suspension. This is like an 88 plus, maybe a 90 Supra. Very heavy cars, but they can be really reliable. They're putting fuel in their car. They just topped it up with 1 can. Sorry, that's just 1 can. Now they've got 14 others to go because, these have big fuel tanks. They do suck down a lot of fuel too. Hold on, I got to put my hoodie on. Hold. Or you guys, you don't need to hold. Just continue the show.
No, we'll wait. Go ahead.
It's really cold, yeah. Okay.
That's the number 48 face down racing.
Stinky Rat Trap in the pits. JSK Racing still leading. Javolis in second. Crank Anchor still in P3. Black Pearl in fourth. TRM, we're on board with them now, and they're not stopped. The stream just is a little jittery. That's they're in P4. Black Pearl in fifth. Anderson 41 in sixth. Premium Dudes in seventh. Landshark in eighth. Stinky Rat Trap in ninth, and Spartan Racing in 10th.
So we should have a bunch of cars start to pit here.
Right. Because we're coming up at the 2 hour.
Yeah, we're right at the 2 hour mark.
So Tiffany, you're a racing driver instructor extraordinaire. You're the expert in these matters. What do you tell your students about rain driving?
We use a lot of metaphors. One of them is to try to drive.
Use a lot of metaphors. Can they be spoken on the broadcast?
We'll stick to those.
Okay. So what do you tell them?
We tell them things like drive like there's an egg under your pedals, to be pushing those smoothly. And it really helps when they start out in the rain and then move to the dry because it forces them to be smooth. So like your mistakes are just exaggerated in the rain. They just catch you more.
Here comes Cone Crushers into pit lane. Their guys are over the wall. They're clearing all the leaves out from the front of the car. These cars are picking up. All the cars coming down pit lane have a lot of leaves sitting in their front intakes for the radiator. So that can affect you, getting your car cool. They're pouring in that special blue fuel that matches their car color. I don't see anything wrong with that.
Oh, way to stir things up, Bill.
So if anybody on the internet forums wants to do some research on blue fuel, you can go ahead and do that, please.
It's gas.
It's just cold, yeah.
Audio visual gas?
Yes.
Cool. Got a lot of cars coming down pit lane right now. A lot of BMWs. The 250 just came down. We have the orange. What's their name? You drove for them, Paulie.
Oh,
the orange
Premium
BMW
Dudes.
30. Yeah, premium dudes are sitting in Black Flag. 771 is coming down pit lane.
Okay.
And they're in 8th place right now.
We got the 707 came in for fuel. Their guy stood out on pit lane here to flag him down, which you're not allowed to do.
Well, there's so many local yellows out there with guys sliding off the track. You just got to be so careful right now. Probably we'll see more of these passing under yellows.
The number 7 just pulled into pit lane. Their guys are over the wall. They're getting ready to do a fuel and driver change.
That's Spartan Racing running in 8th place. Yet to see our leaders in.
Yeah.
The 999 just goes down pit lane. The 103 down pit lane. More cowbell, please. 80 is down pit lane. That's a winged Miata. Here comes Crank Anchors, the 186. With the sparkly paint. Oh, we have an absolute ton of cars waiting to get in pit lane. Everybody's pitting, it looks like. The 150 Milan just came down pit lane. Here comes the Maserati. This is just one badass car. He's got a lot of leaves stuck in his intake. 185 is the car number. Here comes a Mercedes down pit lane. Not a lot of leaves in that one, the 427.
Hey, Bill.
Yeah.
I know it's really windy down there, but can you stand the camera upright?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know you were looking.
There we go.
Why else would we give you a camera,
I think he's just trying to brace himself from the wind.
Trying to watch.
The 95 just went down. Yeah, let me know. Bill, you're live, because I don't have a red dot on this thing. The 811, the nose of that car is all filled up with leaves. The 726 Neon just came down. Man, there is a line of cars to get in. They're going to run out of timers. The 368 down pit lane.
We haven't seen our leader pit. I wonder if he's stuck in that group.
603 and the 32 has been released.
There's premium dudes.
Out of Black Flag. Yeah, 119 Neon. He's coming down pit lane. We have one full pit lane, boys and girls. There might be 2 cars on the track right now. 91 down pit lane. 176.
That's our leader.
And 318, the Tire Rack guys. They're all employees at Tire Rack. They just came down pit lane. The 411 car just came down pit lane.
So we have
212 came in, and we have here comes Luke for Speed. They're second in line to get a timer.
We have 12 of our top 15 cars